Check, check, 1, 2. All right, RCT. Today we have a very different style video ahead of us. Yes, this is a Bluey. I don't know anything about Bluey. I guess it's a cartoon that is still well known. Apparently, I didn't grow up with Bluey, but these are the Bluey Walkie Talkies. The reason why I picked these up at Walmart today is because I actually came across several TikTok videos of people being surprised that they're interfering or catching interference from other people talking. If you go through TikTok and scroll through, I don't know what the search word was. I think I just put walkie talkie, and it showed several people talking about how they were catching interference. So I kind of want to make this video to help you understand or educate you on what these walkie talkies are, what they can do, and how they're designed or set up. So I'll go through some of the specifications in a few minutes with this thing. I don't think there's much that we can learn from this, other than we know typically toy walkie-talkies are not going to be anything like the FRS radios or GMRS radios. So for those who are joining who don't know what FRS stands for Family Radio Service, and GMRS stands for General Mobile Radio Service. So those are the radios that you typically buy. Same thing at Walmart or Target that you can go camping with. They usually come in a 2-pack or 3-pack. If you look through my TikTok or my YouTube video, you'll see some other FRS walkie-talkies, including some that you can get on Amazon. They tend to be very small, not very big. You can obviously see they're not going to be high in power. Sometimes they claim to be 2 watts, 5 watts, 10 watts, but generally anything small, a walkie-talkie style, style, these are generally going to be either half watt to 1 watt. Now, again, most times these are even as low as 100 milliwatts or 500 milliwatts. That means that's going to be half of a watt or less than a watt. So it works up to 750 feet. So 750 feet is, you would say, I mean, so think of a grocery store aisle is about 50 feet lengthwise going down. Generally at a grocery store, 50 feet is like the long aisle that you see the toilet paper or the paper towels. So it's a bit of a stretch. So you're thinking that 750 feet can be pretty far, right? You can get some good distance on here, but understanding a few other things on top of that. So let me tell you what these are first before I test these, because I'm going to open these, I'm going to test these, and I know exactly who these are going to go to right after. I got nephews that I'm pretty sure will enjoy this, and I'll be probably sending these to them shortly after this. So let's talk about toy walkie-talkies. So a few things that toy walkie-talkies, in order for them to make them, right, whatever company makes these, I don't know if it's this company here, BBC Studios. So in order for these companies to make walkie-talkies as toys, they have to follow a few FCC, Federal Communications Commission's guidelines or laws. I don't even know if they're laws or guidelines. I'm sure they're laws, because a lot of people have to comply unless they're going to break those guidelines or laws, and they can shut them down or fine them. So generally, the 2 rules that they have to follow is they can use about 22 frequencies that have to stay under 1 watt to half watt. I'll put up a chart here for you to see what frequencies those are. I'll put it right here. So there is 1 through 22 channels or frequencies that you can use without a license. So that means anybody can buy these walkie-talkies and use the walkie-talkies without a license. Same thing with these FRS walkie-talkies that you buy from Walmart or Target that you go camping with or road trips. These have to stay within parameters to be license free. Now, the first thing to understand with these is that the antenna cannot be changed, swapped out, modified, added. You can't do anything different with the antenna. So that's going to be one of the rules, one of the many rules that will allow you to use these frequencies with a certain amount of power without a license. As soon as you start changing the antennas here, if you can unscrew it and put a bigger one, or unscrew it and connect it to one on your roof of your car or house, that no longer becomes FRS. That is now in the GMRS frequency, or the guidelines of the Part 95, Part 90. So it kind of falls into a different realm, and that's when you're going to need a license in order to have that upgrade or modification. And then again, the second thing is that I mentioned before is the wattage. The amount of power that it can push out has to be limited to, I think it's 1 to 2 watts. I think they've changed it over time. If you go to the FCC website and look at FRS frequencies, you'll see that every frequency is maxed or capped at a certain amount of power push out. So output power or wattage is what you can put out. Anything beyond that, you're now again going into a different type of licensing requirement. So again, if you have a GMRS radio that pushes out 5 watts and you can change the antenna, now you're talking about needing a license for that. For example, you'll see a lot of people running around with these type of radios here. These are Baofengs. These can go between amateur radio frequencies or bands, and you can also punch in GMRS and use that. Some of these can be ham radios, some of these can be GMRS radios. But as soon as you're capable of taking off the antenna like this, now you're walking into more of a license requirement radio or device. So let's go back to these walkie-talkies here. These are going to be toy walkie-talkies, so I guarantee you that these are very limited. I don't think they're going to be 2 watts. They're going to be very, very low wattage, maybe half watt, especially because the kids are going to be using these. They're going to generally be used inside. You're going to be talking to your dad or mom or your brother. These do say age 3 and over. Okay, so 3 and over. That means we're safe to use these, right? It's not 3 and under. Otherwise, you know, the laws of the play toys will not allow us to use these. So we're safe to use these. There's not much, I think there's not a lot of specifications on here because, again, sometimes people buy these and they really do not care what the power wattage or the speaker wattage is, or they don't really care about all those fancy things that we do when it comes to our radios, right? So let's open these up and let's see what they turn out to be. So let me open these up and I'll be right back at you in a few minutes. All right, team, here we are. We are back in action. These are pretty cool. The only thing they are lacking is they are lacking the belt clip. If they did have a belt clip, I would definitely rock this at Walmart next time I go, or on my next camping trip. So it looks like the batteries might already be in here. The batteries were not included. They did have instructions here, but it doesn't really give a lot of information. It just says don't mess with this. You got to have approval. Obviously, it's the warning of FCC compliant, right? It's saying it complies with Part 15, but it doesn't specify what frequencies or wattage it really puts out. So I have a scanner here, and this scanner is a Uniden SDS100, and what this scanner is designed to do is it's designed to pick up frequencies nearby. It tells you, number 1, the frequency, and number 2, it tells you if there's any tones. Now, the reasons why sometimes you don't pick up a lot of noise outside is because there's a tone that these are enabled with, right? So actually it doesn't come with batteries. So there is tones that these are enabled with. Tones meaning they're privacy tones, quiet tones, CTCSS, DCS. Every radio or every make has a different way to describe the quiet tones, or the tones. They're called tones. But like I said, Motorola and Cobra and all those other brands, they say privacy tones, quiet tones, I don't know, secret tones, I don't know, whatever they call them, but they're all tones, meaning your radio can have a tone in the radio for it not to pick up or interfere with other radios. Now let me put some batteries in here because I thought it would come with some, but it didn't. So stand by, let me put some batteries in these and I'll get back to you in a few seconds. All right, while I do this, I'm going to explain to you parents, if you're a parent and you're watching this, I'm going to explain a few things to you right now. Number 1, I want to remind you or let you know that the toy radios, any toy radio that you get, are not secured and they're not isolated. They're not safe. Safe as in, oh, these are not 9-volt. Oh, okay, I can get these. So I want to tell you that these radios are not secure. These radios are on public frequencies. Public meaning anyone can hear them, anyone can tap in that knows what they're doing. And I'm going to show you in a few seconds what I mean by if they know what they're doing, they can tap into these. All right. So again, please don't fear hearing others, because there's going to be a few things that explain to you of why you're hearing interference when you do press the PTT. This is called a PTT. This is your antenna, your microphone's right here, and I think this is your speaker. There's not even a hole for you to hear out of that, so this could be your speaker and your microphone. Oh, there's your speaker right there. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. We are going to turn these on and see what they do. Cool. They have a little beep. Check, 1, 2. All right, so right here, I can see right off the bat that this is going to be a very public frequency. 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is the 4676125 DCS261. So that is, I can tell you right now, that is a public frequency. Like I'm telling you, as I've said before, these are going to be one of the multi-public or license-free frequencies that you can use, that they have programmed or used to make this a toy. And again, the antenna can't be modified. There's no volume set. You can't change the channels. You can't change the tones. These are literally set to one frequency, one tone, and that's it, right? So again, this is why a lot of times you hear other people, because if that person, number one, knows what they're doing, they can easily tap into that frequency. Now we're going to do this again. We're going to key up. It's going to tell us 4676125. So if like I said, 467, what is it? 6125. 6125. Oops, it did it for me. How do I go back? So now that means this radio here. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you go. You can hear it on this radio here. Now the only reason why you can't hear this radio on this one is because if you look at the scanner here, when I key this up, there's a DCS of 261. DCS 261 means it's going to be a tone 261. DCS means digital code is Squelch. So what you're going to do is go find your DCS right here, and then you're going to look for D261. Hopefully you can still see that. Okay, receiving. You're going to punch it again. Go to 261. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to show you exactly what someone can do. And I know it's taking a few minutes, but find 261, enter that, and go back out. Now, that means this radio will now hear this transmission. And I can also talk to this radio now. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when they talk, I can hear your kids talking on the walkie-talkie. And I can talk back to your kids if I really wanted to. So again, I hope this helps you understand what happens. I don't mean to alarm you, to freak you out, to tell you that this is how anyone can listen on your kids. Yes, they can listen to you. So please understand that these walkie-talkies, any walkie-talkie, is not safe. It's not secure. It's not secret. Don't be saying things over the radio to your kids that you probably shouldn't. I always tell people never to use names over the radio, especially if it's FRS, GMRS. GMRS to give you a call sign, great. FRS, pick your own call sign. You can say Rubber Ducky 1, this is Mama Bird 2, or 1. You shouldn't have 2 Mama Birds, but if you do, that's your business. So always come up with a call sign. Never say your kid's name over the radios. Don't, if you're gonna mess with your husband or boyfriend or girlfriend and you're gonna buy these for around the house, these cost like $17, $18, less than $20. Cute little toys for your kids. But if you're gonna use them as an adult or you're gonna talk to your kids, don't give these to your kids and say, go play outside, I'm gonna talk to you. And say, Jason, come back, it's time for lunch. Don't say names over this. So again, just be very mindful that these are not secured. And as I showed you, it's very easy for someone to pick up the frequency and start talking to your kids. And they can listen to you if they don't even know the tone. So again, the tone is the little thing I told you right here. You go to this, it says DCS, that's digital codec squelch, because the reason why I knew that it was 261, because when I talk on here, it's going to show 261. All right. So again, all it takes is for someone to either be on that same channel by luck. There's only so many quiet tones that those FRS radios come with. And I'm talking about the Walkie Talkies you get at Walmart, and it has a little screen and you can pick channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 22, and then it has a little extra little number on the side, and it's 1 through 21. The reason why it's 1 through 21 is because it gives you so many CTCSS, which is analog tones, and then you're allowed to pick another how many digital codec squelches tones, right? DCS is a little quicker. It sometimes is supposed to be faster unmute and mute, and I'm not going to go into all of that for those who don't really understand walkie-talkies. But here's the part where you might not understand of what's happening when you key up your radio. Now, I'm going to change this to a different, let's just take the DCS off of this one. Let's just put let's do a different one. Okay, so it's 263 now, DCS 263. And we're going to go back to the receive as well. Put 263. Now, they won't be able to talk to each other. Let me turn this down. They won't be able to talk to each other now. You're only hearing it here. So this is a Baofeng that everyone has. Everybody and their mothers and brothers have. And that's really easy to do the same thing I'm doing on this one. But this is what I want to show you is that sometimes if I'm using this radio on this public frequency, right, on this frequency, I'm talking to whoever, I'm talking to the repeater, talking to my ham radio buddies, and all of a sudden this is not going to pick it up because this is tone 261, this is tone 263. But if something is overpowering and you go to talk and you let go, you're going to pick up that same frequency. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes you're going to be able to hear it. Check, check. Hello, hello, hello. Now these walkie-talkies aren't working now. Check, check, check. Hello? You can hear? Okay. I don't know why they stopped working all of a sudden. But again, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk on this one. I'm going to talk on this one. See? So it seems like this one isn't working because this one's overpowering it. That's probably why it's not working. Check, check, 1, 2. There it goes. So it might be the tone is too close. Let's do something where we take off the tone. Here's going to be a better test. So bear with me for a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the tone for this radio. What I'm trying to show you is that these radios, the Bluey radios, sometimes they have something called squelch control. So squelch control is something in the radio that tells your radio to hush up again. So the way a radio works is supposed to be unmute when it has the right codes and then mute when it stops receiving that same code. Generally, that happens if you don't have a tone on here and it's only frequency to frequency, it will stop transmitting as soon as there's no interference with that same frequency. So again, this radio is designed to talk And then as soon as I'm done talking, it mutes. Okay, so that's the way this is supposed to work, is I talk, and as soon as I'm done talking, this is going to mute. Same thing with this one. As soon as I'm done talking, it's going to mute. You hear the little, that's it going back to mute. Without the squelch control, all you get is static. So what I mean by that is every radio has to have a squelch control. Otherwise, all you hear is static. This is what you will generally hear if a radio does not have squelch control. This is it. I remember when I was a kid growing up, I used to buy these KB toy walkie talkies that didn't have squelch control. So I'm very happy that they actually put squelch control in these toys. Otherwise, all you're hearing is static. Again, I used to buy those KB toys all the time, the walkie talkies from KB Toys, and that's all you would get. But I'm glad they did that. So squelch control, as you can see here, it says SQL. So you can put squelch control 1. That means as soon as this is done, as soon as this is done hearing something, it's going to mute back up, right? The different levels is 1 through 10, 1 through 15. I can't remember how many there are in there. But what's happening? Let me even you back out, sorry. What's happening is your radio is saying to mute back because there's no more interference. If someone is talking nearby, they're like this, I'm talking, blah, 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 and I'm talking at the same time, and I let go, and the squelch control doesn't shut off right away, this is going to pick up that interference. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. I don't know why these stopped talking. It's like I have to keep resetting them. Maybe the battery's pretty low. But anyways, you can talk on these, and as soon as someone else is using the radio, see, it keeps shutting off at the same time. That means it has poor squelch control, meaning it's being interfered very easily. Because this doesn't even have a tone on it, and these are being interfered. But again, when you talk to each other on these, check, check, 1, 2. When you talk on these, when that one person is done talking, it's supposed to quiet up again. In between, it goes from receiving to squelch to mute, right? So from receiving the information, the squelch is in between the mute. I'm trying to do some animations here. I told you I'm going to try to be better at animations, but that's what the radio is doing all at the same time within a few seconds, right? So it's talking, check, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, hey, little brother, blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as you let go of this one is going back to mute because it's no longer receiving the frequency and the tone from this one to this one. I hope that makes sense. So if someone else is using a radio, and I guarantee you these people are using GMRS radios, they're using 50 watts, they're using 5 watts, handhelds are typically 5 watts. If you get yourself a Baofeng that's 10 watts, it can definitely overpower these kid toy walkie-talkies because the squelch control is probably very, very limited on these, okay? So that's why sometimes you even hear people coming through. Now, I do see people making claims that they can hear police. I don't know if that's the case. I don't want to say that is accurate because there are no police departments that use this frequency 467 6125. Only because police have to be also within a certain range. They also have to comply with FCC standards, meaning every time there's a police department that is new or needs new radios and they want to apply to a different band, VHF, UHF, or 7,800 megahertz, they have to apply a license through the FCC. So they have to go onto the website, say, hey, we're looking for new frequencies, give us 16 frequencies, right? And the FCC is going to tell them, okay, you're a police department, public safety has to be within this frequency. I'm going to try to put up a chart right here that kind of shows what those frequencies are because it can go from VHF to UHF, what these are UHF, and then again to 7,800 megahertz. So every user, even business band, if you're a business, you have a certain range of where they can put you. If you're FRS, you have these frequencies. If you're GMRS, you have these frequencies. If you're police, you're this frequency. if you're EMS. So there's all an a range of frequencies that every person is supposed to use depending on what they're using the radio for. Hopefully that makes it understandable. So what I want to do is I kind of want to get on this radio and see if I can change this to the same frequency. So it's 4676125. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing for receiving. If you can see that this is called an XTS5000 Motorola. This is a old police radio, old as in since don't quote me, 2002, 2015. They got the new style Apex radio that look like these. This is what the newer ones look like. This is what you see police using nowadays. But this is an older style, but doesn't mean it still doesn't work. So anybody can still be rocking with one of these out and about. So what I'm trying to do is, let's see, change it. Oh, you know what? I kind of messed up on that. So I don't think it's going to work. Check 1, 2. It's not going to work. Let's talk about check 1, 2. So check 1, 2. Check. So I can hear this radio on this one. The reason why it's saying I can't do this is because I enabled MPL. So MPL stands for multiple personality. So what I need to do in the future is set up my PL to hit the same tone for this one. But if you didn't have FPP stands for front panel programming. This is something for other radio, I guess they call them radio whackers or whatever, people that know a lot about radios. So I guess what I was going to try to do is hook up this one to this one, and you're going to hear police sounds in the background. You're going to hear the bleep. So for example, if I have this one here, let me turn these off. It's going to sound like a police radio. If I were to connect to these, it's definitely going to sound like a police radio. Check 1, 2. Oh, check 1, 2. It looks like it disabled the MDC. So we'll have to look into that later on. But again, what's happening is this is an analog and digital radio. I can swap it over to analog and make the bleep at the very end of it. Check 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's probably what's happening. I can't say for sure you're not picking up police. It's just not likely. What I know some people do on the radios, I know what they do sometimes on the radio is they play scanner audio onto these walkie talkies. So I think that's why, or how sometimes you can hear the police on these, because they are either copying frequencies from another radio. Meaning, if let's see if I can do this. Pull some police chatter on this one. I'll key it up, and you're going to be able to hear it on this one. Check 1, 2. Again, not for sure. I'm not saying that's exactly what's happening, but those are some of the cases of why you're hearing police chatter in the background, or someone's acting like they're police. Who knows? So what these radios or these scanners can do is they can pick up local police departments. I get a lot of people asking on TikTok how you can listen to police. It really depends on where you're at. There are a lot of counties or cities that are very digital now. They're encrypted, so sometimes you can't hear them. Some counties, some police departments are not encrypted, but they are in P25, meaning you have to have a digital radio to hear them. And this scanner was about $700 to pick up those frequencies. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can pick something up so I can broadcast it over this radio to make it sound like it's picking up police chatter. So until then, I guess I'll kind of leave it as it is. And hopefully that provides a lot more information to you, to your parents. Just again, reminder: be very careful handing these out to your kids, and not teaching them safety on the radio. Just like you teach them not to talk to strangers, talk to them as well about if you hear someone that is not your dad or me or your brother or sister, don't talk to them. Come and find me right away. Don't use your name. Teach them about call signs. Just say you're brother one, sister one. Just come up with codes. It's fun when you come up with little call signs and codes. and just be safe on these radios. So again, don't be surprised if you pick up other interference. These are not perfect radios. These are $17 radios, so that means they're about $8 each, right? So that's all it really cost them. So it probably cost them $4 to make this, and probably less to make this, and then to license it or trademark it. On top of that, that's probably what's happening. So, all right, RCT, I won't make this video much longer. We're about 20 minutes into there. Let's see if we can do this. I picked up the all call. I was just trying to broadcast that information to over here so we can see if that's what you're probably hearing. So, all right, let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to comment below. If you want me to provide a little bit more details, let me know. I'm more than happy to provide additional information. If you want to email me, my email is going to be below. Find me on TikTok. Find me on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram often now. I was deleted twice with the Meta AI bot that went around and wiped out hundreds of thousands of accounts. So I'm no longer on Instagram. I'll just stick to YouTube. YouTube has doing very good. And TikTok seems to be a very wide community of radio and I guess whackers, like I said, people like to say. So again, if these had bell clips, I would definitely rock these at Walmart. I would tell my significant other here, take this and I'll meet you back over here and we'll use this around the store. All right, Radio Check, we'll see you on the next one. I think what I'm going to do is work on this because I do want to show you that I can pretend to be a cop on this radio with the little bleeps. As you heard, it does a little chirp here. So, right, you're going to hear that. And then I can always make the little Roger beep. They call that the MDC on the very end. That makes it sound like it's a cop. It's all the little noises you hear on cops. And what's on now? It's not cops. It's live PD. So, all right, RCT, we'll see you on the next one. Radio Check, over and out.